What's going on? Happy Sunday. Oh, wait. I'm pressing stuff by accident. Here we go. Happy Sunday, everybody. How's it going? We're here. We're back with more My Hero. Can never go wrong with My Hero. In my case, you can never go wrong with My Hero. But, freaking love the series, so can't go wrong with it. I'm a happier individual this Sunday because I wasn't spoiled. I can make this a little bigger, huh? There. All right, I wasn't spoiled this week, so I'm a happy camper. I have no idea what this chapter is even about. I'm looking at the first page of 334 right now. It's a picture of Star, and I feel like it's very like thought-provoking. Just the art style in itself, mimicking Western art style, but how all of her hair is down, but she has the one tuft that's left. She said that she did 8 tufts of hair to outdo All Might's 2. So the fact that we're down to one single tuft left means like it's just like she was dusting away last week, but it's just about it. And based on the chapter title, Parting Gift, it feels like that this is the final hurrah, like the final moments that we'll be able to get to spend with Star. Even though her impact will be felt for a long time, probably until the end of this series. Like Star has been in like 5 chapters, 6 chapters, something like that. And the impact that she's had has been absolutely like incredible. So let me shut up. Let me stop babbling. Well, first let me pull up the chat. Pull up the chat. There we go. I would start the stream since I get out of work. What's up? Happy Sunday. Here we go. 334. Oh, what am I looking at? Hold on. Okay. I was like, what am I looking at? I'm zooming in. Let me zoom out. Zoom in to the right. Don't let him get away. Shoot the sucker down. He has wings. He has wings. Just before making my darling Nomu burst, I stole this wing quirk from it. I can make my getaway using my power in these wings. He's making his way to the mainland. Excuse me. Someone else must receive new order from me. Before I'm reduced to nothing. New order. I'm surprised you watch Reach Shonen. I love My Hero. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I like a lot of shonen stuff. Before I'm reduced to nothing. Look at this. That's incredible looking. Years ago, a Japanese student studying abroad saved me. I went for 8 tufts of hair. Once again, no matter what move I make, there you are. Dude, I've never seen this piece of All Might. Is there a possibility that this All Might is from the night that they fought? Or the day they fought, whenever they fought? Is that a possibility? I've never seen this All Might art before. Could that, but the eyes are sunken in, so I don't know. Like he's got the black eyes, so maybe it's after. Dude, could it possibly be? Shut up. Next page. Here we go. Zoom in, please. Zoom in. Dude, he is dusting them. Ah, hell. Make sure your remains make it back to your loved ones. Star and Stripe. Wow. Of course you surpassed him. You've always been the greatest hero. Wait, is he just gonna jam this quirk into any random person he can find? Holy crap. So TV ain't a thing. TV ain't a thing anymore? The TV station workers probably evacuated to shelters. Good thing we still got lights, water, and essentials to live on, even if distribution is basically dead. I mean, what kind of freaking idiots bust out of prison and start stirring up trouble in big cities? Smart guys like me booked it to the boonies for a second shot at life. Kashiko Kashi, convicted robber and murderer. Who's this person sitting on the oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Dude, look at that. Look at that. He's gonna slam his hand on one of their faces and give them new order. Oh, that's gonna be disgusting if he slams this. Like, what if he gives them new order, they have a quirk, and they just explode? That'd be gross. A hero? Nah, not likely. I still have a chance. No! Okay, I'm out of order. Miss Star likely assigned a new rule to her quirk that prevents it from residing among other quirks. In that case, I'll just steal this bystander's quirk. Once he's quirkless, I mentioned this last week if he was gonna do it. Like, he'll have to take it, wait a second, and then give the quirk. Once he's quirkless, I can grant him new order and preserve it. Oh wait, Star did something else. Nice try, idiot. Hold on, nice try, idiot. New order revolts against other quirks. Thanks to all those other quirks inside you, my little revolt was the death of me. It's a real shame I couldn't kill you and finish the job, but here are some words of wisdom to remember, John Doe. As long as people stand up to save each other, someone will inherit that will of heroism. And make no mistake, they will strike you down. This art is incredible. This art is incredible. Wow. And it was like it seems like that visualization of her was breaking down inside of him from the markings of the decay markings. And the all for one markings. All right. Give it a rest. Give it a rest. The winner is the one who lives longest. So take a hike, dead lady. This guy. Some hero. Midoriya. What the heck? What the heck? Is this little Tenko in there? Oh, dude, I think we are on to something. The little Tenko is in there. I think we might be on to something with the whole. Look at him. I think we're on this. The idea of us thinking that there possibly could be a moment in which Shigaraki and Deku work together to try to take out All For One, and then upon the defeat of All For One, they end up scrapping because Shigaraki it just needs to get rid of him in order for him to be free. Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't even know what page I'm on. I'm about halfway through. But this means that I wonder how many quirks got destroyed. All right, let me read. Let me continue. The hunt for Shigaraki resumed immediately. Evidence of a struggle was discovered, but the villain had once again vanished without a trace. Sorry, I'm doing magic tricks. Leaving the authorities back at square one. The entire world learned of the #1 American hero's death that very day. With the knowledge that even the hero currently hailed as the strongest had fallen to this threat, the nations of the world backed down. So Star was deemed the world's strongest hero? That's definitely a statement. The pain on their faces though, can't overlook that. I remember we had mentioned when Star was introduced and the thought of like, I don't think she lives. Well, as she was first introduced is having Shigaraki kill her would be a statement. So now with this little paragraph right here, with the knowledge that even the hero currently hailed as the strongest had fallen to this threat, the nations of the world backed down. If Star was deemed the world's strongest hero, if she was deemed the greatest hero on planet Earth, like if that was the consensus among all the countries since All Might's retirement, that Star was the world's strongest, and she died to Shigaraki, that sends shockwaves throughout the entire world. Let me continue. We stuttered. Hold on. Okay. I would love to get a glimpse at Deku. I'm no longer being dispatched. We intend to abandon Japan to its fate. Don't look at it that way, Salam. We only ask you not to abandon our own nation. The loss of a hero could mean the downfall of a nation. It was decided that there was a greater need for heroes to protect their own homes than to save the people of some far-off foreign land. So the dispatch operation was immediately put on hold. America's probably in shambles. What's up, Madman? But Star's death wasn't in vain. Cassie. I wish I could have seen her. Each X66 we rode in on holds data from the battle. Ooh, they were recording each biosignature and analyzing every quirk during the fight. Hopefully that data will provide a lead. No way you folks don't already have people studying that monster, right? What's up, JG? Central Hospital. Nice. Nice. All right. I asked to get a glimpse of my boy. I get to see him. The next day, 2 days after Midoriya returned to UA. A deadline extension? Yes. Originally, tomorrow was the day Shigaraki would have his perfected body. Excuse me. But now he'll be out of commission for at least a week. As a parting gift, Star and Stripe bought us this time. And we'll take down Shigaraki and All for One. Squad, man. It's the squad. I just need to get a glimpse of my boy. I need to hear him talk though. I need to hear him talk. I need to hear my boy talk. Because this look is a little different than the usual Midoriya look. Like that's the usual Shoto look. This is the usual Bakugo look. But for some reason, like this is not screaming usual Midoriya look. He'll have a look similar to this, but something different about it. Something just a little bit different about it. Something just a little bit different about it. Let me zoom in on this panel. Yeah, he still has the bags. It's been a couple of days. He's still he Deku would need, from what he was doing to his body and everything, he would need minimum a week, and I don't think we're gonna use it. Maybe we do use this whole week to rest, or maybe we get some vestige training with him. But in this panel on how many pages are in this chapter? 18 on 17. Deku's face. He's just hair and eyes, no mouth. And he's got on his he doesn't have his Air Force gauntlets on. That's one thing I'm looking at. These aren't the Air Force gauntlets, I don't think. Or are they? Yes, they are, because the Air Force gauntlets are just the tiny gloves. I'm bugging. No, they're not. No, I'm tripping out again. No, he doesn't have the Air Force gauntlets. Because version 1 was the gloves, version 2 was the sleeves, and then the Air Force gauntlets was like version 3 in a sense. So I think he's got just his OG gloves on, or another version of those gloves possibly. I have no idea what they're gonna plan. I have no idea what they're gonna plan. Little Tenko, man. So this is the question. Because I was thinking the parting gift might have been starred, like roped in something else possibly. I don't know. But that reason New Order was lost. But at how it looks, he was able to find some random person, jam New Order inside of them, and preserve it. Or I don't know. I feel like he rushes in here, he grabs this guy's face, Star steps in and says, "Nice try." And then we get, I don't know what I'm looking at on page, I don't know what page this is because my freaking taskbar is in the way. Sorry. On page 8. Thank you. On page 8, I don't know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at his eye. Is this the, like, I don't know what I'm looking at. He's like, I can grant him New Order and preserve it. And she said, "Nice try, idiot." And then we look at his eye and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. It's like power over, like welling up or something. And then it's an echo of what she said. "Thanks to all those other quirks inside you, my little revolt was the death of me. It's a real shame I couldn't kill you and finish the job, but here are some words of wisdom to remember, John Doe." I don't know if this crumbling of what this is New Order dying. I don't know. Is New Order dying? Is it being brought under submission by All for One? I don't know. I think it's just gone. Because if I'm looking correctly at page 10, the upper left is New Order just being disintegrated. So maybe New Order is gone. Because we never go back. We stay in this little mental space. And we even go deeper. So it's like we're in the anything with All for One in this panel is the mental space. But then we go deeper into the mental space to Tenko, and little Tenko's calling out to Midoriya. It even echoes the page that we got from the war when little kid Midoriya walking up to Tenko holding what was his dog's name? Wow, I forgot his dog's name. I forgot his dog's name. I thought this is something I knew. say 70-30 chance that New Order's gone. I think so. The visuals are telling me, Mon, thank you. Well, it's that panel. I have that panel, so I can pull it up. I can definitely pull it up. Like this panel down here calls back to this one. It's my hero folder. Every visual is telling me that New Order is gone, but we've been told otherwise and shown otherwise from this series. This one. Hold on. That's blinding. Let me pull this panel right here. Like it echoes back to this. It echoes back to Deku watching Shigaraki I think that's from the same chapter. Deku watching Shigaraki be carried away by the Nomus, and he's like, you look like someone that is crying, like someone needs something, like you look like someone that needs saving. And getting the visual that little Tenko is still in there, being held down and suppressed, but he's still in there. I get the end of Naruto vibes from it. I think we're leaning more and more. I know this one's from 305. I have it labeled in my folder. I don't know if it's the end of the war, I guess, when he's being carried away is 296, 295-ish, so it's 10 chapters before it. Because I'm looking at my folder. 295 is Deku laying on the ground. 296 is the chapter with Ochako like looking at all the destruction from the war. 297 is Tartarus. 298 is the start of the hellish Todoroki family and all that stuff. So I would assume it's from 294 is the compressed chapter. I would assume it's from 290. 294 would be the last page would be compress. 295. It's probably 295, and if not 295. Yeah, 295 something. It's around that point. I'm just looking at all the images I have saved from my hero. I'm looking at all of them, and I'm like taking an educated guess. What was I saying? Oh, about I get the end of like Naruto vibes where like you're dealing with Madara, you're dealing with Kagyo, you're dealing with all of this stuff. And it's just like, yeah, it's over. Like the fourth Great Shinobi War is over. And it's like all the memes, it's just like, why do I still hear boss music? Like one of the funniest ones from that was like, Sasuke, why do you have health bars? Like, Sasuke, why do you have health bars? And Sasuke pulls up the all the Jinchuriki. And they get in the final battle starts. I can totally see that happening for this. I can see a situation in which they start this raid on All For One. What's being teased to us at the end, attacking them. We start this raid and we know that there's some sort of melding going on. We know that there's a consciousness, like they're creating a new individual. So if Deku could somehow in this battle enter into that mind space, like it could even be something like a vestige fight. Like they're having a real fight, and then in the real fight they both end up in the same vestige world, and in the vestige world Deku and Shigaraki can they can foil All For One and somehow split the connection between the two of them, which would then, I don't know how Deku, because I don't know where Deku's personality is leaning. Would he be then tricked into Shigaraki thinking, would he be tricked into Shigaraki or tricked by Shigaraki thinking that he's been turned because they were able to come together and work? I don't know. I need to see more of like a Deku post Dark Deku stuff. I need to see more of what I need. Well, I need to see something from Deku post this Dark Deku arc. That's what they're officially calling him too. Like, he's officially called Dark Deku by Hori. So, are you from America? Yes. All they have to do is just nuke Shigaraki. Modern problems require modern solutions. I agree. There's a lot of these series, if you just blow him up. Why are we steady trying to fight this person who is almost invincible, can steal quirks, can decay, can do all? Why are we sending people in to fight this person when we can just locate this person and blow them to hell? Why not just do that? And what series was it? What series was it where it's like, you mentioned this like last week or something, like if they just use guns, there would be no problem. And it's just like, if it sounds crazy and evil and immoral, but like this person is doing more bad than good, a lot bad than good. I feel like I don't know. Yeah, Snipe was gonna end in, yeah, he literally is gonna body Shigaraki at the USJ. Quite literally, if not for Kurogiri. Are you suggesting that they nuke Japan at this point? Just blow Shigaraki, blow him away. Collateral damage, because it sounds crazy, but because he wouldn't survive it. I think this, like the missiles that Star used, the Tiamat, weren't nuclear missiles. Right? They weren't nuclear missiles. They were cruise missiles. They go boom really big. And there was a bunch of them. And if that would have hit him without him like tunneling into the ocean floor, if he wouldn't have done that, he would have died. He would have legit died right then and there. She would have been successful if he wouldn't have tunneled into the ocean floor. So if you just nuke him, there's no possible way to get away from, like, you can't get away from that. How do you get away from that? I see no way you get away from it. Does the regeneration stop radiation? Does that happen? How fast? Like, if I don't know. I don't know. Because Shigaraki and All For One at this point, well, to the rest of the world, they don't know. Yeah, he can't survive being No, it's just like, you can't. The rest of the world doesn't know what happened necessarily to Shigaraki. They have data. I don't think the pilots would know that Star set a rule. Do they even have nukes in the first place? I would assume that every influential country in this world has some sort of nuclear missile, even if they say they don't have one. It'd be foolish to think that a country saying they don't have one. I think that's foolish. I would assume that every country that has the ability to have a nuclear weapon has some sort of nuclear weapon, even if they say they don't have a nuclear weapon. I'm 100% certain on that. Why would you discard your nuclear weapon knowing that there possibly might be another country out there that won't do it? So when push comes to shove and you think they might do something, you can't defend yourself. So I would assume that, yeah, they do. I would assume that, yes, they do. I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know what I was talking about. I don't remember. I just need to see a little bit more Deku. A lot of more Deku, please. My favorite character. I'm talking about the MA. Talking about My Hero World. They did say they're technically underdeveloped. I would assume that they have nuclear weapons. I would assume that nuclear weapons would exist. in the My Hero world. Like, think about, like, in our real world, it's the My Hero world is weird to the My Hero world is weird to like visualize, because we don't have a set time in which we know how long quirks were around. So it's hard to say how long it's been. I would say at the minimum it's been 150 years since the minimum 150 years that quirks have been around. And it's hard to even, that's hard to say because Dr. Garaki is that old. And Dr. Garaki was alive, like studying quirks, and he's the one that kind of came up with the isn't he the one that came up with the quirk doomsday theory about eventually as the generations keep going on, quirks will become too destructive. So I would like, if I had to like place like in a real world setting what time My Hero takes place, it's far past where we live currently. They have holographic projectors and advanced robotics. Yeah, they had I don't know if you, I think you guys were here when I read the guide from I got from the movie where Hori, like someone asked a question and Hori said yes, there was an AI rebellion. Like artificial intelligence was created and artificial intelligence tried to take over the world, and I think people with quirks fought the rebellion and won and then subjugated the robots. So if we're that advanced, they have nuclear weapons. In our real world, nuclear weapons were developed 100 years ago. 80 to 100 years ago. Because it's 2020 now. It's crazy. Inko is a fourth generation quirk user, so I put that around 150 years at the minimum. Yeah, at the minimum. If I think if All For One were to say that UA then took those robots and then took them under control, because I would only assume that if the robots were then subjugated, a company of what can I call UA? A group of individuals as influential and impactful as UA. UA is the #1 school in the world, so they would have some of the best heroes. They have the best heroes possibly, besides Hawks, to come from UA. So UA could step up and be like, we'll take the robots into our responsibility. I don't think it was I don't think UA created the robot. I don't think it's that. I was kind of looking at it as AI was created, artificial intelligence were created, robots were created, released into like the world and stuff, and then they deemed humanity as a threat to the world, tried to take over, and then people with quirks and heroes fought the rebellion and won. And then an organization like UA can step up and be like, we'll take the robots and we'll put them to use, and we'll be like, I kind of looked at it like that. I don't think I looked at it as, because if UA created the artificial intelligence and the robots that tried to take over the world, why would UA still be held in high regard now, like at the point of the start of the series? That seems kind of crazy to me. That seems kind of crazy that no one would be like, no one would be like, hey, UA was responsible for that. They did this, more of the same. That's what you would hear. People would pull those headlines up. Like, man, this isn't the first time UA messed up as all this hero stuff is going down. I feel like UA just took the robots in because they were able to handle them because of all of the high level quirk users that they push out at a good rate. They deem humanity as a threat to the world, rightfully so. So I would say My Hero is it seems like My Hero's universe is well past our current day. It's because if you look at when they showed the first quirk user was the baby that shined. That was the very first quirk user. Like, we don't know what all the baby did was shine. It glowed, but that was the first quirk, and it was modern time. It didn't look like, it wasn't dated. It wasn't like the 60s or the 50s or like the 1800s or the 1700s. It didn't look like that. It looked like modern day. And if it's been hundreds of years since then, I think it's fair to say that the world was probably developing at a normal rate, like humanity develops, and then upon the happenings of quirks and the development of quirks and the mutations of quirks, the world development probably slowed down, because instead of us using our brains and creating, we then can rely on these special abilities that we have, that we then can move forward with those. So it would slow everything down. Things will still move forward, like you have all the support items and all that stuff, but it wouldn't be moving as fast. I feel like follow normal timeline and say My Hero is like what Madman said, 300 or 400 years like further than what it should be. For us, we don't know what that would look like. Probably be crazy, like 2500, like instead like 2500, 2500 and something. But because they have quirks, it slowed it down. So instead of it looking completely different, it's just a little bit different, just a tiny bit different. So yeah, I don't know how we ended up on that. Oh, about nukes and stuff. If they would have nukes, I would assume that they would have nukes. I would assume. But let me go back. It's hard to figure out. Lil Tenko. I can see an end of Naruto happening. That's the point I was trying to make. We sidetracked ourselves. I can see an end of Naruto happening where a Deku and a Shigaraki. My monitor turned off. Okay. Like a Deku and a Shigaraki working together to quell All For One. And then how crazy would that be? Hold on. Okay. I just thought of this. Hear me out. I just thought of this. So we know that All For One created One For All. We don't know if he did it on purpose, but we do know that he created One For All. And since he created it, he's been trying to chase it down. And I think so. I'm with you on that. But we know All For One created One For All. And in a way, like in his hunting One For All down, he's molded it. Like he's molded it into being a specific way, into what it is now with Deku. And how crazy would it be if we have this moment in which Deku and Shigaraki work together? Because we've been calling like Shigaraki like the new All For One. He has All For One. He's his mentor, but we now know All For One's trying to take the body. What if Shigaraki and Deku are able to work together and they are actually able to like get rid of All For One in some way? Release the bond between the two of them, the parasitic bond or the parasitic attachment that All For One has on Shigaraki. If they're able to work together and to release that, and then through doing that, Shigaraki can then cement that he is officially a bad guy. Like Izuku is definitely going to be looking at Shigaraki as the little tiny boy, someone that needs to be saved. And Shigaraki's probably, he's Tenko's in there, but I don't think Tenko can come back to the surface and just take back over. Shigaraki's confirmed who he's wanted to be. How crazy would it be if through Deku doing this, he's able to essentially create and complete Shigaraki? So it's kind of like a flip, like All For One molded One For All, therefore like ending up where Deku is. Like he's everything, all the actions he's done has molded what One For All currently is. So all of the actions that Deku has been doing since getting this quirk and doing all of this, he is able to like he's the person adding the last pats on Shigaraki, like molding him into being Shigaraki and not Shigaraki with All For One attached to him. I think that'd be a cool thing. And then at that point, you can have the moment where Deku realizes like, oh snap, like either he used me. If Deku says he used me, everyone's gonna be like, you fool, or whatever. Deku's an innocent child. He's my boy. I'll forgive him for everything he says. But it will have that moment where it comes. If that does happen, we'll have a moment in which I think this is where we sync back up. Where I think Deku's gonna realize that I can't talk to him and bring him back. I can't save him in the sense of giving him back everything that's been done to him and all the choices that he has made. Like I can't reverse those. But I can save you from yourself, because deep down inside there's someone in there that doesn't want to be like this. But that person can't come back. And they wouldn't want you or want to be running around doing everything that you're doing. So you need to go. I can see it, man. I can see it. I can see that happening. I was talking to my my anime only friend and I asked him a question. I asked him, how would you like My Hero to end? And he was like, you know what? I've never thought about that, and it's actually hard. And for me, for some reason, I can't get the idea of Deku dying out of my head. I don't want Deku to die because I love Deku and he's my favorite character. Goodness. So I don't want him to die. But I just can't get this. I can't get the idea. And I like expounded on it a little bit more as we were talking. Yeah, Tenko will be saved, but not Shigaraki. Yep. And I just can't get this idea of I like his idea better than mine because his idea involves Deku being alive. But that's the reason why I like it better than mine. But I can't get the idea of Deku sacrificing himself in getting rid of All For One. So All For One and One For All both expire in this fight, and he is able to take out All For One and Shigaraki in that same instance, but he'll die in the process. And I think at that point, like the story of All For One and One For All will end at that same point. And I can't get the idea of like flashing forward, I don't know, 5-10 years and getting to see like I can see it vividly in my head. Like one of the final panels is like a Katsuma or an Eri or a Koda being on like a hero internship. Like they made the hero course in UA, and they're in like a hero internship and they're like interning with Bakugo, or they're interning with Ochiko, they're interning with someone, or they're interning with Mirio. And there's like, just like there's a statue of All Might somewhere, like wherever this final battle between Deku and Shigaraki takes place, there'd be a statue of Deku there, and they like go to pay, like the kids like they stop something, they stop some sort of crazy like villain or something, and then they happen to just realize that the statue's there. They take a look at it, like if it's Bakugo or something, he like yells at them, like typical Bakugo stuff. He like yells at them. They do like one of those shock face. They run off, and then like you get like a final glimpse. Like you don't know what they're looking at, and you get like a final glimpse of like Bakugo or someone looking up at the statue, then turning around, and then you get to see the Deku statue, and that's how it ends. I can't get that out of my brain, but I like my friend's idea better of we're spending this whole series showing that the symbol of peace, the pillar of hope, like the bottom floor in the Hall of Justice for all the heroes who died, that'd be cool. But like the symbol of peace, the pillar of hope being a singular individual is not the way to go, because hero society crumbles when that person is removed, that pillar is removed. So his idea is someone like a Deku surviving like the events of everything that happens, either has his quirk or doesn't have his quirk, either or, and he's the leader of like a superhero team, because there aren't really superhero teams in the My Hero universe. There are superhero, like there are quirk groups like the Pussycats and all of that, but there's not a superhero team like a Justice League or an Avengers, or like there's not that, where all of these individually strong heroes come together and they make this super strong group. So having Deku be the leader of a group like that, and that's how the series ends. Or he's like raising the next group of heroes to become like an Avengers or Justice League or something like that. And I was like, I like your idea better because Deku lives, but for some reason, like I can't get Deku not being alive. And like, yeah, it's just like you're saying, like the Hall of Justice, something like that. I can even see like a Hall of Justice moment would be cool. Kids are on not a field trip, but they're on a history lesson of some sorts, and they're being led around looking at all the fallen heroes. You get to see like a Crust statue. At that point, I would think Gran Torino wouldn't be alive anymore. You get a Gran Torino statue. You'll see a Star statue. If Deku doesn't live, you'll see a Deku statue. Like that'd be the one. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick up any of the clues from Hori's favorite series that he truly likes. So we know he loves Star Wars, and in particular he likes I would assume he likes the OT. I assume he likes the original trilogy the best, because that's what he's leaned more so from. Even though he's thrown nuggets from every single movie in the series, there's nuggets from all 9 of the movies, the Skywalker saga. There's something in My Hero from every single one of those movies, but there's more from the OT from 4 to 6. So I'm trying to infer, like, could we do like a Luke Vader thing? Could we do something like that? Trying to think about how much he loves Spider-Man. Is there any way we can incorporate one of the popular Spider-Man storylines, and that could be the ending? Thinking about how much he loves Akira. Can we look at the ending of the manga, not the movie, the manga of Akira? Could we look at something like that and possibly pull something? We do know that he loves Berserk a lot too. Can we look at one of the arcs in Berserk as a way where we can pull and figure out how the series, like, that's what I'm trying to do, like go through all of these things and see where he's leaning to, because we just got finished having a Spider-Man arc with the Dark Deku stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. Why don't we just end with Deku being quirkless? I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't mind that. I don't want Deku to die, but I wouldn't mind him being alive and with his quirk. I wouldn't mind him being alive and quirkless. I wouldn't mind him being dead. I would not mind it. I just think there's very few shonen series that have ever killed their main character at the end of the series and kept it that way. Never. There's very few. I'd be a bit salty about a quirkless ending. It depends on how it's done. It depends on how it's done. It depends on how it's done. If he had to give up One for All, like if somehow some way if All for One gets One for All, and that's the downfall of All for One, like say like the Quark, they cancel each other out and they destroy each other, or he has to sacrifice One for All in order to like get rid of Shigaraki, or kill All for One in some way like that, I could be fine with it. I could be fine with it. Especially if Deku then inserts himself as someone that's very important in Hero Society. I could be fine with it. It would totally suck not to see him being able to be a beast. But something about him sacrificing his quirk in order to what's his face to get that done, I feel like if it's written the right way, I can get behind it. It's my least favorite of like the three I mentioned, but I could get behind it if written the right way. He loves Hitman Reborn too. I mean, the Vestige thing is the same, yeah. There's a lot, man. What about Embers left by One for All? There's not we wouldn't know how long that would last. Who knows? Could we get a Deku parallel with him feeding off of the embers? Feeding off of the embers for a while and then burning out? Who knows? I don't know. I wonder how much longer we have left in the series. Wonder how much longer we have left in the series. Because they extended us a week. Depending on how this goes, I can see My Hero ending next year. Like for real, I can see it ending next year. I don't see My Hero going past 2023. I don't see it going past 2023. So I think 2 more years left. It's just about like 100. Hori has said it. Like we're at the end. He's saying it like we're at the end. We've already passed the original ending. We're at the end. We're in the final stretches. We're in the final arc. Now it's just does he want to do a sequel? Like, does he want to do a sequel? Does this end in a way where you're looking like, holy crap, we're gonna time skip it? Because I can see this ending in a battle with Shigaraki and something. Final arcs can have 100 chapters or more. We're already like 20 chapters into this final arc. Final arc started at the end of the war. Like when the war ended, the final arc started. Essentially, pretty much when the war ended, the final arc started. And we're already like 20 chapters in. Already like 20 in. So I can see we're 330. I've never changed this. We're at 334. I can see My Hero having 400. That's 60 more chapters. That's 66 more chapters. That would put us at just about 2 years if we think about all the breaks that possibly could happen, taking a week off here or there. This is it depends. If we have a final battle and Shigaraki does not die, but Shigaraki is not, like, if Shigaraki doesn't turn good and he does not die in this final battle, dude, there's no. I think Hori comes back for a part 2. he might do like what Ashita did, where Tokyo Ghoul is done, and then I make a new series called Tokyo Ghoul Re, and that is part 2. Like with Naruto, Naruto is just through and through. Like Shippuden is separated because of the anime, but it's just Naruto all the way through. There could be a possibility where My Hero Academia ends, and then whatever the time skip version of them not being in school or something, I could see something like that. I wouldn't be mad at it either. If if My Hero, the series of My Hero ends because school's been postponed, they're not starting their second year anytime soon. So if the conclusion of My Hero Academia happens and we time skip to either their third years or they're out of school, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. A lot of people would be mad because they want to see another sports festival with everybody, but I could care less about all that. If they time skipped us to them graduating or year 1 of being heroes, and that was what a part 2 was like, and we have a reintroduction into what Shigaraki has been doing in the League of Villains, if any of that could be salvaged, what is Hero Society like post all the events of the conclusion of My Hero? How long has the cleanup been going on? Has things been restored? Is faith in heroes still shaky? There would be a lot to tackle if you wanted to part 2 this series. Yeah, Deku wouldn't be able to participate in any of the sports festival stuff. So I'd be cool with skipping the rest of school. I'd be cool with it. Even though getting to see a sports festival would be cool with how strong all of them are, 1v1s would be impossible to it'd be impossible. Because who would logically stop the 3 of them? Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto. Who would be like, you wouldn't be able to stop them. They're too strong. They're head and shoulders clearly. Like, there's utility that the rest of them can do. There's utility that they all have that can, but mentally, the 3 of them, like, if strip away like tiredness and fatigue, Ida's mind is probably is it the greatest in the class? He's the smart. I don't know, but Ida's mind is great. I don't think Ida can beat any of the 3 of them, even with his like reciprocal turbo and all that stuff. Because at this point, going into a second year sports festival, you have Deku with all of his quirks, Bakugo with his transcended explosions, Shoto being able to manage and regulate his fire and his ice together. I would assume that Endeavor was helping him in the war fly, but he's close to flying now. Now he's able to jet boost himself in the eyes. It would at this point, the sports festival, it would chalk itself up to, you put them on the bracket, they run through everybody, and I would just free for all the 3 of them for a final as the final fight. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Instead of having one of them fight one of them, like exactly what happened in the first sports festival. Shoto fought Deku. Shoto won. Bakugo won his matches. They would run into each other. I would just free for all the 3 of them. That's what I would do. Free for all. Deku's gonna win. That's it. You just 3-way free for all the 3 of them. Why force 2 of them to go up against each other? Free for all. Slug it out. Have fun. That would be dope. That would be dope. That would be dope. No holding back. No holds barred. Man. That'd be fire, man. That'd be so dope. We would have Deku bouncing around, going crazy. You would have him bouncing around, going crazy. I want to get another showcase on Bakugo, because we've only been able to see him in short bursts. Ever since when the war popped off, we didn't even get to see him go crazy. We've seen him in short clips. I want to see, because if the boy gets no holding back, everyone in the arena dies. Yep, it'd be like the Dark Tournament. People is just dying. But if Bakugo, if that boy, because he has to be like, his explosions are physically demanding on him, and we know that he can explode. He can make explosions that can definitely like blow his arms off if he's really not careful. If he can build some sort of muscle definition and mass to withstand like full power, he's a problem. He would be a problem. I'm not saying he beat Deku, but he would be one hell of a, especially with how much he would be compressing in the new crazy explosions that he has, the ones that look like freaking stars. Like, he's a problem. And if Shoto, the sky's the limit. If Shoto is able to use fire while cooling himself at the same time, because right now all of his support gear helps him cool himself down, like it keeps him regulated. Why do we say pause? Wouldn't it make more sense to say play? Move fast a moment. I know it makes more sense to say play, but I guess we say pause because it's like or it's like you got to catch yourself, like pause, hold, wait, and I don't know. I would assume that pause originated from New York some way. The only problem with Bakugo is he can only make explosions with his hands. Yeah. If he, it would be risky. If he develops some sort of like suit or some tech, because right now his suit takes all of his sweat and it takes the gauntlets take the sweat that he generates from his hands and stores them so he can release them. If he could come up with some sort of like insulated suit that he can choose to like explode any part of like his body or something, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Or like he has a full body suit and he can generate all the sweat from his whole body and create like freaking bombs and just go crazy. But with Shoto, if Shoto, like Oyama's suit, like Oyama's suit, if he can just take everything, because right now it's only from the gauntlets. If he can take everything and he can, dude, that would be nuts. If all the sweat on his whole body can be taken and stored into his hands and he can just unleash it at will, he'd be a legit problem, an actual problem at that point. But if Shoto, because Shoto's firepower is stupid. It's stupid. I think Shoto he can go hotter than Endeavor, but he's not hotter than Dabi. Dabi's the hottest. Dabi's fire is the hottest. And I think Shoto's fire, would Endeavor would be hotter than Shoto, or Shoto confirmed hotter than Endeavor? These are things I don't know. Even Endeavor's fire is hot, but if he could use the fire and at the same time be using the ice to cool himself off, because right now he'll put the ice down and then he'll use the explosions to boost himself, or not the explosions, the fires to boost the fire to boost himself. Or he'll use the fire and then after he's done using the fire, he'll super cool himself down. If he can just keep his body temperature normal, so like he's going supernova, but then he goes sub-zero at the same time, and he then creates the perfect balance inside of his body. At that point, he just needs to work on endurance. How long can you how long can he keep outputting the fire and the ice? That's all he would need to work on at that point, because he'd be able to do Lord knows what at that. Like, he would be able to, I think he'd be able to change the weather. Wouldn't he? I think so. I think he would be able to change the weather if he was able to like fully output at high capacity for extended periods of time. He could do some crazy things. Like, what happens if he could like final flash fire and ice at the same time and a blast, and like one is like sub-zero and one like blow up the air around him? He could do something nuts. He could do something crazy. Yeah, he'd become a bomb himself too. He could be a bomb himself too. The sky's the limit for them. Like with Bakugo, it's clear. All he has to do is just keep getting like physically stronger, and he's gonna keep working his quirk. His mind is already possibly. This kid's got human limits. He does. But if Shoto was able to just break out of that half and half shell, it's hard. I think that's impossible. I don't think he'll ever break out of that. That's just his genetic makeup. But if he's able to do that, man. Like, we look at the stuff that Deku's doing, and he's just like, Deku's using his power in ways that it was never supposed to be used. Like full cowling and all this stuff, but he making it work. So if the two of them can do what he's doing and make it work, oh my gosh, like they'd be even stronger than what they are right now. That was on stream. Was that on stream when I was trying to figure out what when Deku, I think that was on stream. I remember talking about it to my friend. But when Deku gets to 100%, he doesn't need full cowling anymore. I feel like we had this conversation on stream. I don't remember. That's what I get for bringing it up in my personal life. Now I don't remember if I talked about it on stream. Deku can do that first because it's yeah, I think I talked about it on stream. Yeah, I don't want to bring it up again because I'll feel redundant. But just Deku already looks broken as it is. So if he ever gets to 100% and he doesn't need to use full cowling anymore, then what? Like, essentially, it would just be All Might running around using all the other quirks. Like, All Might as he is, or All Might as he was already overwhelming. And that was All Might after, like, having, like, half of his insides removed. He was already an overwhelming presence. So it's hard to fathom what a Prime All Might was. And then just take a Prime All Might and give him Black Whip and Fajin and Smokescreen and Danger Sense. If you give it a Prime All Might all that, that's basically like Deku's gonna be Prime All Might on steroids. Like he's gonna be stronger than Prime All Might, but then he's gonna have all of these supplementary quirks to go along with it. So not only is he gonna be super fast, super strong, durable, he's gonna have Black Whip on crack, Fajin on crack, Danger Sense, Smokescreen. He's gonna have all whatever the second quirk is. Float. He's gonna have all these. They're all on crack, and they're even gonna be stronger than what we see them as. He's gonna be even like they're gonna be stronger than what we know them now because he's only using them at 40% or even less. I don't know. That's someone did the math on it. Izuku at full power should at least be 35% stronger than All Might in his prime, just based on strength. That's crazy. That's crazy. The reason is simple. All for One doesn't have human limits. All other quirks, they do have human limits. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm like in my brain, I'm trying to picture what that Deku looks like. I got like Dragon Ball in my head. You know, I can see because I'm looking at this right here. Because in this panel, Deku resembles like Goku. Just like how his hair is styled right here with the tufts here, the tuft here, the tuft at the top. Like one for all increases by factors instead of just multiplying. Right. So like I can picture like, I don't know why, I just see like all the different panels and visuals of like a Goku only in his pants. Tattered, like his body's tattered. Kind of like dead look on his face like, huh. Just like I can see the moment when Deku realizes that, holy snap, I think I can do this 100%. Kind of like that dumb look he gets on his face when he gets the really big eyes. Like whenever he figured out that he could kick. It's weird. When he figured out he could kick, it was like his eyes got huge and he's like, holy snap, I figured it out. I can see that moment. I can see that moment of him being like, I could do this. Like he's in like some crazy battle. Like what if he enters the final battle with Shigaraki, not sure if he can go 100%. And then Shigaraki's working him and Deku's just like, I just need to try this. And he lets off a 100% shot and he looks at his arm and it's not broken. And he's like, oh snap. Like that, I don't know. I just want to see Deku running around like Goku's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I feel like that'd be in my brain. That's the most hypest thing ever. Actually, no, I thought of an interesting thing. Since Deku moves faster than the speed of sound, due to Doppler effect, either won't hear you or understand you. What if the seconds quirk makes me feel like it's gonna be the thing that brings all of these quirks together. Because right now they're all supplementary, like that panel of him with the walkie and the backpack and the rope and all of this. Like they're all supplementary things. I feel like the seconds quirk is gonna be something that is the final puzzle piece, and it's just like all of this stuff works really well together. Even though we've already seen them use it well together, I think it's gonna tie it all together. So who knows? Who knows? It'd be funny. Emitting smokes from Black Whip's tendrils. Who knows? Like what if he's able to do that? What if he can? It's definitely going to be an AoE quirk to match like the decay or to mimic the decay. Yeah, we don't know. I don't know, JG. What if? Because right now, One for All is one quirk that has 6 quirks residing inside of it that it swallowed up. What if through Deku's training and everything, he's able to, like, all of the quirks, instead of them being individual representations, like individual quirks inside, what if they all just start to merge? Like they just all start to merge and they're just one thing. I don't know. So it's like Black Whip, like he's using Black Whip, and Black Whip can stack the Fajin. So like how he moves and the Fajin stacks. But if he's like swinging off of Black Whip can activate Fajin, and Black Whip itself is getting the Fajin boost from it. So it's stronger and it's faster and it's hitting crazy. I don't know. Like emitting smoke from Black Whip's tendrils. Who knows? What if Black Whip can move on its own? Because right now, we know Deku is using Black Whip to stand at some points because he was exhausted. But what if he's like using Black Whip and he does something, and because of danger sense, Black Whip can move out of the way on its own. So it's kind of like damn, that's Tokyo Ghoul. It's kind of Tokyo Ghoul spoilers, but I think Dexter, you know what I'm talking about. How Kaneki was towards the end of Tokyo Ghoul Re. Not the end, before Dragon. Before Dragon. But whenever his stuff started to mimic oh gosh, what's his name? I got the Bin brothers in my head right now, but not the Bin brothers. Not Eto. It starts with an N. What was this? Oh gosh. Like it you know what I know you know what I'm talking about. Like it starts to mimic that with the different mouths, and it like, what if Black Whip could just be sentient? Essentially, damn near that's what it would be. I'm imagining it being something that will prevent Shigaraki from being able to touch him, like some Gojo type power. That'd be nuts. Yeah, Eto's homeboy. I can't. It starts with an N. I don't think it's Nero. It's not Necro. Aogiri. Members. Noro. It wasn't Nero, Noro. But mimicking Noro. And what Kaneki was truly like what he was like before all the dragon stuff. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I don't know if. How would you feel about Deku having a quirk that doesn't allow Shigaraki to touch him? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Yes. I couldn't think. I've been thinking about Tokyo Ghoul a lot in the last month, and I'm like I'm being like sketchy. Like my brain is starting to skip. I'm just like, I can't think of everything. I used to be able to spit Tokyo Ghoul out like crazy, and now I can't. So it's time to reread. I think around that point, I'm thinking whenever no, right around, was it around that point when, no, right around when GOAT was formed, and it was the operation whenever him and the white suits went in, and it, like, at that point, his Kagane had like the mouths on it, and they were able to talk, and they were able to do whatever the hell they wanted to, really. And he was just like the boss. He was around. I think that's around the same point. right before that's right before Dragon, isn't it? I wish I had the volume. I don't have the volume. Believe it or not, I did not collect Tokyo Ghoul yet. I should. I'm gonna have to find a panel or something. I have to find a panel. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I know exactly. It's funny. You started all out. I know exactly what the yes. Oh yeah. Tokyo Ghoul's so good. I swear to you, I wish I could like acquire rights and fund money and just pay a studio to do it. Tokyo Ghoul deserves to have like the best adaptation. It deserves it. 50 episodes for just Tokyo Ghoul itself. I think you need more than 50, but I think 50 would be fine. Because you would need, in my personal opinion, where I'm sidetracked. Get back to my hair. I think in my personal opinion, you need 25 just to get to what the first 12 did for Tokyo Ghoul. You need 25, and the end of 25 is white hair. And that's half of part 1. That's half of Tokyo Ghoul. That's half of it. So I think you would need 50 just for all of Tokyo Ghoul. And then you would do, I would think it's the same thing for Ri. It's like 100 episodes total for Tokyo Ghoul. You need that. I'm alright. I'm completely off track. 100% off track. I think the main question, well, let's see when what Viz says when the next chapter is going to be up. Does it say 7 days? Yes, next week. Because now they just say to be continued at the end. You can do it justice with 120. That's I agree. I totally agree. 100 minimum. 100 minimum for Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Ri. For the whole series, 100 minimum. I want to read a Deku monologue so bad. Yes. I've been waiting to get the boy back. Because I want to know what his mindset is now. We know what he feels like. He's saying he's gonna bring the bad guys back. Yes, but I want to know where. Like, is he just gonna go back to normal Deku? Is there still gonna be a mix of this dark Deku personality in there? Because right now I think he'll trust them to help. I also think it's funny that he doesn't have a hero costume. I think it's funny. Deku doesn't. Everyone's in their hero costume, and he's just in a UA fit because his hero costume is destroyed. I think that's funny. But I think hopefully Gran Torino's cape is still fine, and I think Inko's probably in the process of making him a new costume. I want to see what he's like, man. I want to see it. I want to have another conversation with the Vestiges. I want to hear what they have to say about what's happening. You dripping away straight from Hatsume. Hori, please. Okay, Hori. I was cool with Deku's costume. I was cool with it. I was cool with Deku's costume because it was from Inko. And I loved his reasoning, like, I like this because it's my mother's. My mother made this for me. It feels like OG Superman wearing just my mom made this suit for me. It's like my mom made this, so I'm gonna wear this until it don't fit no more, until I grow out of it. Now that I think the thing is gone beyond belief, yeah, I need something fire. Come on, this is the chance, Hori. I dug all the sentimental stuff. I dug it. But Hori, please, I'm calling to you. This is the time. This is the time. We can hate all the other new series that exist. The Black Clover. I can't even hate it, but I'm speaking in hyperbole. All of them. The Borutos, every new series that's around. One thing you can say is that they look cool. It's time. It is time to make our boy look cool. It is time. It is time to give him something fire. I need it. Come on. I need it. I need it. Please. Pretty please. I need it. Man, I need you to come with something crazy for him. I want to look at Deku and be like, damn. I need that. Please, I need it. Please. I don't know what it could be, but I need it, man. Don't even need go ask Kubo. Go ask Kubo. Be like, Kubo, I need you to draw this for me. Go ask Kubo. Kubo will come back with something crazy fire. Just throw him in the Winter Soldier. Woo! Yes. Just bring him to Kubo. Kubo will give you something that looks good. He'll give you something that looks good. Yeah, man. Just give him some. I want him to look like, dog, you got me in the Winter Soldier joint because of Bucky's arm. Give him. I see where you're going. I see where you're going. The red full gauntlets, the whole arm. See where you're going. It makes so much sense. Yeah. Does he need the steel toes anymore? Do you think he needs the steel toes anymore? Because the steel toes make him look bulky. I don't think we need the steel toes anymore. Dog, come on, man. It could look fire. It would be so fire. If the Dark Deku arc wouldn't have happened, I would say ditch the hood. But how crazy the hood looked in the Dark Deku arc, we need to give him some sort of headgear or something. I need something. Dude, if Gran Torino's cape is still in, like, if it's still okay, incorporate it somehow into the costume. You'll buy those indestructible red shoes again. Them red shoes held up, right? Those red boots held up. Those red boots held up. I would like him to incorporate Gran Torino's cape somewhere into the costume. Incorporate it. I don't want him to have a cape though, because Gran Torino's so tiny. The thing was like a scarf on Deku. So have it like some sort of like cool Gran Torino scarf thing, or take a piece of it. They're really Tim's, yeah. So like maybe not the whole thing, but take a piece of it, give him like like a scarf of it, Come on, man. If we're getting hyped up, you know, Inko's gonna show up with the same suit. Inko probably made one and messed it up, and then made another one and gave him that one, and she's probably just gonna show up with the same one. Oh yeah. You can turn the cape into like a sash around the waist. I see. I like that. I like that a lot. Steal Mirio's cape. Dude, the sky's the limit for this boy and what the design possibly could be. I like the winner, so I can't get I got that in my head now. I see the full gauntlet, the full gauntlets. I can see the sash. Come on, man. I should be a hero fashion consultant. Come on, man. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen, please. I feel like Hori's just gonna we're just gonna go the traditional route, and he's gonna get a costume that's very similar to it's gonna be green. We know that just because of his name. His name literally is green. Midoriya is green. So his costume, if he gets a new one, it's gonna be green. Do you think he needs the mask thing? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because when he first created his costume, he had the mask to like mimic and imitate All Might. But because he is now world known, he is literally a world hero. No pun intended. Everyone knows who Deku is. Everyone probably knows what his identity is. They all know these things now. There's no need to hide anymore. There's no need to hide anymore, so I don't think he needs the mask. I also need a scene of Hatsume opening up her briefcase like James. Yeah. Just to spin it around and click. Like that. Oh boy. It's gonna be green for sure. I want it to be black. It's gonna be green. And if it's not green all the way, it's gonna have some green in it. It's gotta be something mobile. I don't know. Mine and your baby. See, I wonder if this is a dilemma for me, because I like the innocence of Deku whenever he has like all those awkward moments and he's like like when he's doing all of that, like all the courage stuff that he does whenever he's around the girl. I like all of that for Deku because he's like this sweet and innocent boy. He's been sheltered by his mom his whole life. He don't know what to do. So I like that about him. It's really like I really like that about him. But like I wonder how much is intact. I wonder how much is intact still. Like, is he still that? Is he still in there? Is he still in there? I don't know. This is a massage gun. I'm sorry. I don't think he's like fully, completely 100% changed, but I wonder if we're going to have a moment where he gets like flustered, or is he just going to, like, if someone, we could either have one of two things. He's either going to Like, we're gonna have a moment and something can happen in which he can act like Deku like, or something's gonna happen and he's gonna either deadpan somebody or he's just gonna make some comment and it's not gonna be the same. It'd be cool to watch him work himself back to where he used to be and not just instantly go back there. If he could work himself back there. So it's like he's not the sweet boy anymore, but eventually he can be that sweet boy when he needs to be. I think right now it might just be, I'm focused on the task at hand. I've heard you guys out. You've touched my soul. I understand. But there's still a job that needs to be done. So, I don't know. That's what I'm looking forward to see. I wish I had that chapter now. At this point, could even death stir Bakugo? Not out of anger. Because when Bakugo apologized to him, it definitely, like, that was the beginning of him opening his eyes again, because he was just blocking himself off from everything. When Bakugo apologized, his eyes went from that dead look and they softened. And then everything else that everybody was doing, like the Ochiko stuff and everything, like, then he started to get the light back in his eyes. But the Bakugo apology is the one that softened the blow. So I don't know if it'd be like out of anger or anything, but I can see him definitely like hit him with the, I don't know, hit him with some sort of crazy look where just to get their interactions. I don't even know how their interactions will be. So there's a lot up in the air. I don't know how their interactions will be. Will they talk about it? Because it was a one-sided conversation. Bakugo just needed to get what he needed to get out. But will Deku pull him aside and be like, we need to talk about this? I think that'd be a cool moment. Like, Deku goes to pull him aside and Bakugo tries to say something and he shoots him a look and Bakugo's just like, all right. Hey, can you stop yelling, everyone? That'd be cool. That'd be a cool moment. Do you think he ever says that to Bakugo? I don't think so, because he knows that's just how he is. That's why I don't at this point I don't get mad at Bakugo yelling anymore, because it's literally like a part of his. It's like telling Shoto to open his eyes more and speak with enthusiasm. It's never gonna happen. Like Bakugo is like that because of his nature and his nurture. He is loud because he has an explosive quirk, and he possibly comes from an abused family. So his mom is loud, yells at him, and beats him. That's the reason why he yells and he's like that. So that's why at this point I just let it go. Like that's just how he talks. He can be nice, but he just yells. He's a loud person. Shoto his voice will never go above here. It'll never go above this ever. When he's talking to Toya, he might scream, and that's probably the last time he'll ever scream in his life. It's never gonna happen. It's never ever gonna happen. It's interesting to watch Deku, someone who doesn't have that he definitely comes from an abusive. Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely does. But he is also loud because he has an explosive quirk too. It's the reason why Shoto's half hot. Like, he's half hot and half cold. He's half this egomaniac from Endeavor, and he's half his mother, who is she's very quiet and she doesn't say a doggone thing until it's too late. And you bring both of them together and you get Shoto, who doesn't. He comes from an abused family, so he's more on the mopey side, but he's not loud nor quiet. He's just in the middle. So I think it's funny if you really look at it. Like, Shoto and Bakugo are like two sides of the same coin. They both come from abusive households. One's quiet, one's loud. They both have similar power sets. Both fire, stuff like fire base. Like, they're both two sides of the same coin. And it shows like how two different people handle it. Bakugo's just loud and rambunctious, and he bullied other people because he was getting bullied at home. Shoto he took it, held it in, developed demons towards everybody because of what he was going through. Didn't bully anyone, but he didn't talk to anybody either. So they're two different outcomes of the same, almost the same environment, similar environments. And then you have Deku, who just didn't grow up without a dad. And it's cool to witness him being born. It's cool to witness him being born without something to affect his personality. So what his personality is just how he was raised, kind of like us. That's what his personality is. And now he has all this stuff that's happening to him. It's a cool dynamic, the three of them. I don't think I've ever really thought about their dynamic like that. I've always only thought about it on like a power scale base, but not like a personality base, and just comparing where the three of them come from. It's like the two of them come from very similar, and then it's Deku. then it's Deku. I don't think at this point he wouldn't be able to get back into the country because the country's on lockdown. But Deku's dad's been gone since he's a child. He's just working in another country. There's no way the man's been, the borders are closed. There's no way that man left home for that long and something isn't up. I wonder if the working abroad thing, how many stories have you heard? We've been here for an hour and 45 minutes. How many stories have you heard of parents lying to their children about where their parents are, or the other parent is, when either like some shenanigans is afoot? Like, there's a bunch of stories that I'm pretty sure he's in the US, isn't he? I have no idea. But like, how many stories have you heard where I don't know who your dad is? It's just like, oh, okay, don't know who your dad is. There's some families where a kid will grow up thinking this individual is his mom. It's not his mom. It's his cousin. And the person he thinks is his cousin is his mom. That's crazy. So it's stuff like that. Like, so there could be the whole, your dad just working abroad and he could have just left them. Yeah. And I think the most common or the most normal one would be they broke up and she just told him that he left the country and worked abroad and he'll be back eventually. I think that's just the easiest one to tell a kid. He'll be back. He went to another country to work. That's it. At that point, like, I ask investigative questions to my parents about my childhood, trying to figure out what the heck they were doing because they won't tell me. But at some point, if I'm Deku, I'd be like, if dad did go to another country to work and to earn a living so that he could help us, why are we struggling? like why are we struggling? Why don't we live somewhere else? Why are you going through these things? The reason why Inko looks the way she looks now, I think the reason is because of the moment that happened with Deku and his quirk. She like stress ate herself. But that's the only reason she stress ate herself, is because of what was going on with Deku and not being like, what else was it? Was it being a single mother, not being able to handle everything? Like, she let herself go for a reason. I think it possibly was just more to do than just Deku. So, because like Inko used to be tall and she is short and she's thick. So what else brought that up? What else brought that on? His dad was named Zoro. He just comes here after he got lost in the anime verse. So I don't know. there's so much. There's so much to do with his home front that it could be dived into, I guess. Probably won't. Who knows? There is going to be a Shoji arc, though. There definitely is going to be a Shoji arc in between now and the end of the series. Hori doubled down on that. He says there will be there's going to be an arc that mainly involves Shoji. That's going to happen. Thinking of it actually is something more normal. Like Hisashi wanted them to move to the US with him, but Inko didn't want to, so they divorced. Yeah. That works. That works. That definitely works. Yeah, I think it's just something normal. It's all like, we could theorize all the crazy things, but I do think it's possibly they just got divorced. They just got divorced. And Inko couldn't tell him, so Inko just yeah, he did. Izuku's dad is Shield. You heard it here first. That's crazy. That's crazy. What if Hisashi went over? What if he did? Like, what if he went over there and ended up being super integral? I'm getting up out of here too. We've been here almost basically 2 hours. We haven't done that in a while, so appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I really do. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday or your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and catch you back here next Sunday. Yeah, I'll catch you back here next Sunday, God willing, for 3:35. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one, and I'll see ya. Peace out.